3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
The World Wrestling Federation, for over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never, ever end.
Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what do we do? There's a 1, there's a 2. Oh!
Wow.
Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special 3CT. It's a 3CT Watchalong. And as we're recording this, I don't even know when we're going to drop it, but it is a rainy day in central Pennsylvania. We figured it's always nice to have some content ready for a rainy day. So that's what we're doing. It's Jim and Ryan. Ryan, how we doing today?
So good, Jim. They were calling for maybe some snow, some sleet. I think most of it was just rain. I heard a little bit of sleet earlier today, but, real good. Like you said, what better than a rainy day to create some rainy day content?
Exactly. So we are going to, we're going to be going with the NXT. This is a match you've been trying to get me to watch for literally over 2 years now.
Yeah, this was on my match of the year. I think it was the highest ranked tag match I had for 2019. It happened early 2019. I think we're January 12th.
Yeah, January 12th.
NXT TakeOver from Blackpool.
And the timestamp on this one is 4 minutes, 46 seconds. This is the opening match of the card. We already got you past your intro video and all of that stuff. I mean, which is all great in and of itself, but we won't go through that here on the show. So again, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. We'll give you a countdown before we actually start it. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just one of those things because these usually aired. When exactly was January? Let me pull back on the calendar.
You'll have to go back.
What is it?
While you're looking again, one time, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. Pull this up on your WWE network, or if you're listening to this in the far future, hop onto the Peacock app.
Yeah.
Jump onto the WWE network and 446 for the WWE TakeOver, UK TakeOver, the Blackpool edition, January the 12th, 2019. So fire up whatever device we're watching this on in the future.
So January 12th, 2019 was on a Saturday. I assume this fell in the afternoon here in the States.
I think that sounds right. I want to say something like 3 p.m. or something. I'd have to look at. I don't necessarily remember.
So like just off the top of my head, I assume that there was like football playoffs going on. 2019 was a year where on a typical Saturday, unlike 2020 / early 2021 so far, there was a time and place in this world where you could actually go places and do things, and
there was
not be shuttered down in our home. So there's a possibility I just wasn't home, never caught it, and then I just never got back around. to watching this event or watching this match. So when you, I think when we were doing the show yesterday, as we're recording this, of course, and we were doing the special live show about the Peacock WWE partnership for the WWE network in the US, you had said about, well, let's do a watch along. I asked you then what match you want to do. This one you threw out without hesitation because you're like, I'm finally going to get you to watch this damn match.
It's going to happen one way or the other, Jim.
So, I mean, do you have any other thoughts about it, or should we just start this thing up?
Yeah, we can real quick just go over some stuff again. Obviously, this is 2019. This is pre-pandemic. The pandemic wasn't even thought of at this time. It took place at Blackpool, which is in Lancashire, England, at the Empress Ball. I think there was roughly 3,000 people in attendance. It was, let me pull up the card here. We're going to watch the opening tag team match, which is the NXT UK Tag Team Championship Finals of the championship bracket. We're going to watch Moustache Mountain taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Moustache Mountain entered into this tournament by beating Gallus, which is Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. The Grizzled Young Vets beat Flesh, Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews to advance to the finals out of the semifinals. The whole card, Jim, was really, really good. This is like, I remember really the first time I paid attention to NXT UK.
UK TakeOver, I believe, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. This is the one I was like, okay, I'll check it out. What do I have to lose? And was totally pulled into it. The show itself had 5 matches on the actual show.
Fairly standard TakeOver there.
Headlined by Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey for the NXT UK Championship. Tony Storm battled Rhea Ripley for the NXT UK Women's Championship.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a banger.
A real good match. Finn Balor defeated Jordan Devlin. Obviously, the tag team match that we're going to talk about. And then Dave Mastiff defeated Eddie Dennis in a no DQ match. That was the shortest match on the card, the no DQ affair. But really a good show. Again, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. We're going to start it off right. Jim, you can give us the countdown whenever you're ready. But if I remember correctly, we're going to really enjoy this, especially living in the pandemic where we're at, where we haven't had fans, but to experience like the UK fan base.
I mean,
I think it's something they are very passionate about wrestling.
You know,
and
even
soccer.
Yeah, I mean, sports fans, but like, you know, we've seen even with, I think that they had like a takeover, a regular NXT takeover, I think, in London, and one of the, I think, if memory serves right, and I feel like the fans there were, unless I could be totally making that up, but
they've had a few UK takeovers now. I'm not sure if they did have one in London. I don't remember that.
Let me see. I'm gonna look that before we hit the count.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check that out.
I think there was a Bailey match. NXT takeover.
I mean, you might be right.
Yeah. Okay. 2015. Holy hell, that's a long time ago. December of 2015 at the SSE Arena in London. It was NXT takeover. London, December 16th.
I'll be damned.
On the card, Asuka defeated Emma. Dash and Dawson defeated Enzo and Cass to retain the NXT tag titles. Baron Corbin defeated Apollo Crews. Bailey defeated Nia Jax by submission. And Finn Balor defeated Samoa Joe to retain the NXT championship. Bailey had retained the women's championship. And I think that's where we got like the fans singing the Bailey, I want to know, will you be my girl?
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
Where that originated. And then of course we've heard it at other takeovers. So okay,
I forgot all about that, Jim.
You know, I don't remember a lot anymore, but I am glad that the
Sharp as attack
a little bit, at least when it comes to wrestling. All right, so again, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. I assume everybody is ready by now. I'll count us down from 3. I will hit play. It is you'll see Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness here to start. So in 3 and 2 and 1, we go.
But right now it's time to start things off, and we will do so with some tag team action.
I mean, I like just how the announcers were in the crowd basically at the start there.
Good call.
It's scheduled for one fall. And it's for the NXT UK Tag Team Championships.
Man, like that almost gives me chills just hearing fans.
Hearing crowds pop. And again, we're talking 3,000 fans here. This is not a huge crowd.
I mean, it's a smaller venue, more intimate venue. Almost feels like a ballroom.
I love the venue. It is. It's the Empress Ballroom. Yeah.
Yeah, like the old Monday Night Raws.
The king of Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Moustache Mountain.
I appreciate their gear a whole lot. It's very British Bulldogs.
Yes. Yes.
I love that a whole lot. But yeah,
I mean, it's something. Yeah, I don't think you see a ton anymore of like tag teams in identical gear.
No, and it's so simple. Like,
I mean, even the New Day has similar gear.
Yeah, because like E wears the singlet, Kofi and Xavier both wear tights, and then like Kofi has the vest that he comes down in. Xavier has the trombone. I mean, it's all matching, but it's not like identical like we saw with British Bulldogs and Demolition and the Beverly Brothers. Rolling across the ring. That's cool. Like I like the towels. Oh man, what a cool shot of the whole. God damn it.
This, of course, Nigel, is the finals of the NXT UK Tag Team Championship Tournament. We are about to witness history, the crowning of the very first NXT.
Like, I know we'll never really see Raw or SmackDown in the venues like this, but
what an awesome venue!
Oh my God! Like I want to see NXT in ballrooms and smaller arenas and stuff like that.
Right.
Like once
Look how tall those ceilings are.
Oh, that's awesome. And the chandeliers, like
Sia would love it over there.
That was an answer on one of the episodes of the new Name That Tune.
Really?
Chandelier, yeah.
Chandelier. I didn't know that.
Did you ever like that show?
Name That Tune? Yeah, I'm musically enough that I enjoy that.
I recommend it. I'm not a fan of the host of the show, and I'm not a huge fan of Randy Jackson.
I know he's the guy with the piano. Who hosts it?
I forget her name, but she's very, very almost like boring, and just she doesn't get too excited. It's gonna say like it feels like a very Fox game show.
That's fair.
If that makes sense.
That's fair. As opposed to like The Wall, where the host is 100% engaged.
Yes.
And like each ball
like
drop.
Deal or No Deal.
Right.
Even like when Regis hosted, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was, who wants to be a millionaire? Like he was excited. She's just like, that answer is correct.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks. I just won $20,000 to be a little bit happier for me. Dude, I love the NXT UK tag, or all of their titles.
All of their championship titles look really cool.
But the tag belts are really cool.
I think he's going to take it.
Who's the King of England there that was in the ring? Is that their GM?
That is their GM or commissioner, if you will.
Moustache Mountain had to defeat Dallas to advance.
I love hearing a crowd.
Finals. Drake and Gibson defeated.
It's just
the crowd's so good here too. I mean, it's a UK crowd.
It's just something, we've become so used to. I mean, even with AEW now, with a minimal crowd, we've become so used to this kind of sterile environment and minimal crowds, and you have whatever's presented to you. It's just it's so much different to have a crowd.
Gibson not liked here in Blackpool, not liked in many places, even his hometown in Liverpool.
Gibson does such a good job of blocking out.
And I love the slow pace that it feels like the crowd jumping around, but like it feels like a start to a wrestling match, like a classic wrestling match. Slow start, lock up. We don't get that a lot anymore.
Not in America. I mean, you don't even get holds necessarily like we're seeing this early in a match. It's just something that you don't see a ton of. I mean, it's out there for sure.
Sure, it's and they're few and far between.
You know, some people would even call it wrestling done right.
So some might say that, but you know, like I just feel like it's I don't know, a product of attention spans or whatever. And I think we've seen a little bit more of it in the past 10 months or so because you haven't had that immediate crowd reaction. Because there's a lot of times where Daniel Bryan matches or whatever, and everybody's like, push Daniel Bryan to the moon, push him to the moon. And then he gets into a match.
What's happening with the shoes? I forget what that's all about.
Well, there is the very unique NXT UK universe. You never know what to expect from them, but you expect one thing: high energy.
Well, that's right. I'd expect you to keep your shoes on, Vic. That's very unprofessional.
Hey, chant for him, take his shoes off. I don't.
Zack Gibson, this matchup is just.
Yeah, I forget what that was about.
To the NXT UK universe.
I'm surprised half of them own shoes, to be perfectly honest.
But yeah, I mean,
great heel commentary there too. Like, take the cheap shot.
But you know, you'll see Daniel Bryan use rest holds in a WrestleMania match, and
that a bridge out of a pin.
The crowd's chanting "boring." It's just, you know, this is a nice change of pace. I mean, when you get to English wrestling or Japanese wrestling, you see it's a different style because the fans, I think, appreciate it a little bit more. Great bridge.
Gibson taking his time, Mo. Knows he has Bate controlled.
Oh my Lord! What a counter from Tyler Bate.
I wish we got to see more of Bate in NXT. I just don't watch enough NXT UK.
Me neither.
Really enjoy, and I thought there for a time we were really going to start seeing, and maybe it's a pandemic thing, but we saw Moustache Mountain in NXT for a bit, and you know, with the even Imperium storylines and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that the pandemic has obviously affected a lot of stuff across all companies. You know, you saw Pac was out for 9 months with AEW, and your Tony Storm finally came back. Great counter there, just hopping out of the ring. But you know, you saw that, and because I think what the plan was, you know, you'd bring him over for a couple of months, use him in a program, have a blow off match in a takeover, and if they didn't win championships, then you could send them back over to NXT UK and kind of trade talent a bit, and you just can't really do that. So yeah, I hope there's more integration of that.
No, I believe we just got the Grizzled Young Vets. Again, we're watching this today on the 26th of January, but I believe they just recently reappeared in NXT in January 2021.
I said it before, it is a unique atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you saw a match? I mean, we're what, 5, 6, 7 minutes into this match, and we've seen mostly rest holds, a couple of chops. There hasn't been a high spot. There hasn't been, 3 near falls. I mean, it's a very. This is kind of similar to the wrestling I think we grew up on.
Correct. It feels a lot like 80s WWE. WWF, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Right, so this was the first Blackpool takeover, the first takeover for UK. Then they went to Cardiff in August of 2019. January of 2020, they did Blackpool 2, and that was the only NXT UK takeover. And this year they've announced one UK takeover in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
And that's going to take place June the 20th, 2021.
Fingers crossed on that one. I mean, you would hope by June things are a little bit better, because I think the UK is pretty much it's pretty shut down right now. I mean,
I'm not quite sure where Ireland's going to be and in June, but it's been announced. So
great kip up there by Bate. Almost masterful by Bate, a master. Bate.
Social media talk NXT
Zack Gibson
Um,
and James Drake catch the right hand. And Gibson catch the Hurricane Rana.
Very nice. Very nice. And again, I also still can't get over the venue when you get these balcony shots, and it is such a different look. And I think that's somewhat customary, to what a lot of the venues that you see in it with NXT UK is they're in a lot of ballrooms and things like that, because it's just that's the nature of the architecture and buildings that they run over there.
Shoulders are down. Leg is hooked.
So I think to answer your initial question, Johnny Saint is the general manager to the NXT UK brand, a former English wrestler himself, Johnny Saint.
Okay.
One of the most beloved English footballers of all time.
So the King of England. I think that's the king. He's the King of England as well?
Very close to.
Very
yes.
close.
Very
It's like
close.
third in command. It's the Queen. It's
on his Wikipedia page, it actually shows a picture from him wrestling in the King of Trios tournament from Chikara. So
okay.
Relatively well known.
Okay, gotcha.
Johnny Saint.
Trent Seven realizing it, able to knock down Gibson.
Jim, and I think for the reasons that you talked about earlier today,
great leap through the ropes there.
Just with like the speed of the match, this like being my very first NXT UK match that I watched. It was just so unique to me to go back to that feeling of, well-paced matches, that still has the same presentation value that you get from a WWE, production. Quality work, quality sound, quality lighting, really cool architecture. The whole venue atmosphere of it at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday or whatever it ended up being. Just the balconies, you don't see that in the United States anymore. It all looks very similar, and it has since the Monday Night Wars. Really, you look at Raws and Smackdowns and Nitros, and now Dynamite. It's all in front of just a large crowd, and it's just a wall of people all around. This is so different.
Even the stagings now, like even AEW. I know they have the 2 tunnels, but it's bright lighted stage, entryway, big huge screen.
Right. This has just some like orange can lights, surrounding it. It's so cool looking.
And not to crap on AEW, but because I think they have to feel big. Otherwise, you fill a big arena, but you have a tiny stage, then it's going to be, oh, look at this dinky little company. You have to go big, and you have to have that presentation where something,
sure,
like this can be simpler. I mean, I always like those specials on the network, like when they did the one in Japan on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And it was in a like a sumo hall, and obviously that was a much different look. This one as well. So yeah, maybe. And I mean, I always intend to, and then there's always just so much content, just regular,
right?
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, not to mention other TV shows and things that I watch. That like it's hard even now when I do have a plethora of time on my hands.
Sure,
to pick up a lot of things. I mean, this morning again, as we're recording here on the 26th, I did watch the Superstar Spectacle.
Oh yes.
Obviously still filmed in the Thunderdome, but was the India special. So that was a fun watch. Like
I didn't know that was taped in the Superdome.
Thunderdome.
Whatever. Silverdome.
Come on, brother.
I don't know. I just assumed it was in India.
Yeah, I think they use talent that's been here training, in NXT, I believe,
Sure. I just totally didn't understand, I guess, what it was. So
Sure.
when I saw pictures of, the Thunderdome, I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
Right, because you're not the biggest Thunderdome. And I mean, ultimately, I wish it wasn't what it is.
Sure. I don't think anybody, is super glad that it is, but
no.
there are things we can do, that I know we'll talk about on podcasts here that are really cool. Things like we've seen with The Fiend that we wouldn't be able to do.
Sure. Yeah.
With a live crowd, things that we've done and seen with Alexa Bliss that you couldn't do with a live crowd. You probably aren't doing the Inferno match with a live crowd. So there are cool things about it, and use it to your advantage now. But
right,
I'm excited.
You don't have to be live. Like
right.
Because there was and we'll obviously talk about this Thursday, but there was things on Raw last night that were not live.
Correct.
But the Thunderdome crowd, they were. So
right. I feel like this is the WWE's answer to like this is professional wrestling to me.
Yeah.
Away from his corner.
Raws and SmackDowns.
Yeah.
Now the frustration's starting to come.
I can't make out what they're can't make out what they're chanting. That's harder sometimes. But I mean, just again, a lively crowd. Because even in the U.S., I mean, you get chants in the U.S., but I feel like it's very different than like these organized sing songs and stuff like that you would get in the UK.
Jim, I mean, you were a frequent flyer of Hershey Bears games. They couldn't even chant.
Oof. They couldn't.
Let's go Hershey, correct?
They couldn't keep the clap in time. I mean, those the progressive speed up claps. I mean, at Hershey lasted about 7 seconds because
it was like clap, 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 applause. Right?
Yeah, it's like nobody got it. Nobody got it.
We're clapping now. Okay, let's go.
Oh, so somebody must be bleeding because I see a referee with gloves on.
Yeah, Trent Seven on the side of his head's bleeding.
Okay. Look at that! I saw a Bate holding onto a tag rope.
Right,
the little details.
Isn't that wild?
I just absolutely love little details like that. Good job.
I'm fairly certain this is the show that Walter shows up at the very end.
Trying to do everything.
Which was a pretty cool thing. If you're familiar with Walter, I know a lot of people in the States became familiar with Walter from the Joey Janela spot with
PCO.
Oh my God, yeah, PCO, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, when he just welted his chest.
Jeez, wore it out.
And again, this textbook.
Oh, I think about that, and I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, that was so good. I actually had pneumonia during that time, and then I remember watching the Janela show, and a couple other things on what the hell was it called? Pro Slam.
I guess I'm like, all right, hot tag, good hot tag.
Right, clearly the fresh man. It's just good tag team wrestling.
Right. Like, I mean,
grizzled young vets did exactly what they should have done: cut the ring off in half.
I mean, we're close to 20 minutes into this match, so like, first off, when was the last time? And right, wrong, or indifferent, you don't see a lot of 20-minute tag matches on the main roster anymore.
For sure.
So like, you're not gonna if you don't get that long of a match, you're gonna have a hard time doing an 8-minute wear an opponent down to where he gets that real hot tag. Oh, that's a little different. Using his partner as a weapon.
What's Bate got in mind here? What is this?
Oh shit! That's impressive.
Look at the crowd again. Just great response.
That's a cool spot.
I don't do spins very well.
Big strong boy in.
No, I would vomit.
Yep, puke right in the ring. We'd have to have Matt there to help us.
I was the puke cleaner. Matt was the apple.
Oh, that's right. Matt was the apple.
Yeah, I would. But I would assume that WWE has more than just a half-full gallon jug of water to clean it up. Because that was and like a cut apart wash right. Like it wasn't even a towel. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get vomit on my hands. Oh,
That looks really close too from the barricades to the ring apron.
yeah, it's like one row of padding, which is very different than what we're used to everywhere else.
Just a little snug.
Yeah, those are tight spots. You know, the main roster, I feel like you have twice that.
I feel like it's two pan. I'd have to look again. It just looking right here, it seems tight.
Because like these have like the old gym pads, you know, the fold up ones.
Right.
I feel like the main roster uses just like custom cut like foam, so you don't have it where you can see the break aparts and stuff like that. Great spot.
Again, the tag rope being held for the tag,
and a rope a dope on the elbow there.
Valiant veteran of the team, Trent Gibson.
Look at that, tag teams working together. What a concept. I feel like that was like the first real near fall of the matchup.
Right. It feels nice to see a power slam too. That's very Bulldog-esque in and of itself.
Very. But like
a running power slam.
You've had some 2 counts, but I don't consider just a regular 2 count a near fall. Like we're 20 minutes in, and that was the first near fall. It was the first time I felt. Obviously, I know that it wasn't a short match, but nice move. But it's like I knew, like, it was the first time.
Like you missed holding him back. That's what let.
Was the
them
first
break up
time
the
I felt
pinfall.
like, man, that could have been the end of the match.
Oh, that's right. You don't know who won this match, do you?
I have no clue. This is all new to me. Here's the thing: if I did know, I've forgotten.
Right? No, that's fair.
Yeah, so it's all
even look at the heels even holding the tag rope. Isn't that wild?
Just details, little details. Remind everybody as we're
That's
watching.
something we've always griped about on the indies.
Yeah, get a shoelace.
It's you could just rip 2 people's shoelaces. I don't give a shit. Have something for them to hold on to if you're going to do tag wrestling.
Yeah, it's not hard. You can buy shoelaces at Target for probably what, $1.95 or something.
Yeah, I don't even know how much shoelaces are anymore.
Shoelaces. I mean, or everybody has an old pair of shoes lying around. Pull the laces out, once them over with alcohol, and you're good to go.
You know damn well a worker showing up with their gear that you didn't book on the show. Just use his shoelaces.
Well, that's true too. But remind everybody, our show is brought to you by Arena Eats. Go to arenaeats.app where you can get the app for once. Oh, that was nice. But when we get back into arenas, you'll be able to order your food and whatnot from your seat. Pick it up. You don't have to waste time in lines. arenaeats.app. God, that's impressive. That, damn. Nice. I always love a longer, like, you know, medium length blonde hair with blood in it.
I know, right?
It's such a great look for professional wrestling.
That's that Ric Flair look. Cody's adopted it real well.
Oh, sure.
What has been going through the mind of Zack Gibson and James Drake?
How on earth after this?
Helter Skelter.
But that Helter Skelter, that's a fun move. That's a real fun move into the 450. Like, and the match has had tremendous pace. Like, it started so slow, so calculated, and it has just built up the whole time.
It's just a really good wrestling match.
Yeah.
Instinct and Seguri. Pause. And now Gibson looking to lock in.
And a great sell. Like, you know, he takes the Inseguri. A great sell just crumbling down. Ooh, that looks like it wouldn't feel great.
It's a cool little submission move.
Sure is. I mean, that loose arm, I feel like, you know, you could easily pull up and rake the eyes or rake the back, you know, but you don't really rake it, but
rake my back.
Instead, Tyler Bate trying to break things up.
Look how close.
Oh, there we go. The doble. I say I kind of saw it going that like, are they gonna hold hands to keep him from tapping? Maybe.
Trent Seven continuing. Is he gonna tap? Is he gonna tap, Nigel? Is he gonna tap?
Jeez, Bate is ridiculously strong.
He really is, and he can do flippy doos.
Like I feel like that's like a borderline like your perfect wrestler.
Right.
Like you have the both super strong, great technical wrestler, can do, today's wrestling.
I think he's a lot. You can look at other wrestlers like Pac, who can do flippy doos, but is super strong with a really good base.
Sure.
There you have it.
Incident Trent 70.
I mean, I'd hope so. That's what your ticket, I'm sure,
and
said.
now tag mate, in comes James Drake, and in comes Tyler Bate. How much more could both these teams have left? And now it's Bate to the body. What an uppercut.
Love the uppercut.
A little bit of that boxing background, using it to his advantage.
I mean, outside of Cesaro, does anybody even throw uppercuts in the WWE?
Not that I can think of.
Double capo kick lands.
Bate makes the tag. In comes Trent Seven, but look at Trent Seven's arm. His left arm, Nigel.
His arm dead.
Seven's only got one arm.
He's going to have to fight through. Only here.
This is so much fun. Like,
That's it. Moustache Mountain. They're making history.
ah!
And again, we've only seen, 3 moments? This, the 450, and the other one where we thought that could have been the end of a
really
match.
felt it could have been the end.
Right? And all 3 times were very legit. Like, hey, that's probably it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Such
like
good pacing. Really, it is.
Yeah, just fantastic.
In trouble. Can Moustache Mountain end this match?
Trent Seven trying to hoist up James Drake, but look at.
There we go. There we go. A little bit of heel work.
There is.
Oh! Bate goes head to head with Trent Seven on the shoulders of Gibson. And now Seven looking to drop.
Oh, missed it.
Nice. Mamma mia.
I wish Tim was here to hear that.
I know. I'll try to remember to hit him with one on Thursday, on the show on Thursday. Jeez.
I forget. I assume afterwards these guys had a throw in the towel match that I really enjoyed on NXT television as well.
I think I did see that one.
The regular, and I ended up something happened. I forget what it was.
Oh, that's a fun move. What a match.
And what a way to crown like your first ever tag team champions. That's a solid ass match.
Yeah, I mean, from the time we hit start, it's almost a full half hour from the time we hit play on this.
Zack Gibson.
They have done it.
I remember the Kevin Owens show. That was fun.
That was so much
With the
fun.
shirt, yeah.
And really, when you're crowning your first champions, I feel like going with the heel team is the best choice.
Because Chris, now you have
the chase then.
The face chase. I think that's right for most any championship. It's always easier.
I like the sign in the background. The guy with the turlet.
Oh yes,
as the one that I'm not sure which one, but
I believe that's Zack Gibson.
Gibson's face in it, and he's bouncing his face around in the turlet
because he was Liverpool's number 1.
Oh, so number
says
2.
Liverpool's number 2 on the side of his toilet.
That's a clever sign.
That's a great sign.
That is a great sign.
Liverpool's number 2.
Well, and obviously, foreshadowing and stuff, but having Moustache Mountain with the towels, and then that was incorporated into a match
right
later on.
Right,
and the towels are still in the corner, like they're in the corner.
Very noticeable. Great observation,
time.
Jim.
It's so later on when that comes into play, it's there. It is Liverpool's number 2. It's so good. That is so good.
Kudos to the The UK crowd, that's for sure.
Sure is. And look at
and that move there, like the Doomsday Device to the outside on the floor, should incapacitate your opponent.
Right.
Enough to finish the match.
Still selling it.
That's what needs to happen. Right.
Trent Seven Tyler Bate, but ultimately Gibson and Drake are the new NXT UK.
But even the entryway with like the balcony ceiling. I guess it's probably a stage. So it's like the stage ceiling behind the
right.
You know,
I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, it is a ballroom, so I would assume that's the stage, an actual stage. Yes.
Cool.
I can't wait for wrestling to come back, man.
Dude, you ain't cidding. You absolutely ain't kidding. So yeah, there it is.
Can't wait.
Here's the match. What are we 2 weeks away from here? I'm just curious. Oh, Ciampa and
wins and championships.
Is that? I guess. Well, oh yeah, TakeOver Phoenix. Yeah, that makes sense. January.
Okay. What was it? Oh, Gargano and Ricochet.
Gargano Ricochet for the North American title. Bianca versus Shayna for the women's title. Okay. Ciampa. Ciampa versus Al
Black. Wow. Okay, I forgot about that.
So 2 weeks away. TakeOver Phoenix
on the WWE Network,
right before the
or your Peacock.
Yeah, or your Peacock.
Or your Peacock.
The UK title, super cool as well.
Dude, that might be the nicest championship right now in the WWE.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. Like I love most of the titles they have, but that one, that in the UK women's, obviously.
Oh yes, for sure.
You know, the same plate style. And I wish, obviously you don't want to copy that one exactly, but I do wish that the main title, even though I don't mind the big WWE logo, but I wish they would do something similar to what they have with the UK. So they do an eagle or do something. You can keep the same shape, but do some sort of design in that center plate. I think I would really like.
Okay, that makes sense.
But wow, what a match! Now I finally seen it, Ryan.
You finally saw it.
I finally saw it. Only
would it deserve a placement on a match of the year? You feel?
If I would watch that match today, it would go on. It would go into my list for the year. Absolutely. Maybe I'll put it on my list for 2021, even though I just watched it from 2019.
Do you still have it pulled up?
I had only hit pause.
All right, let's jump up to 2 hours 34 seconds. 2 hours 34 minutes 33 seconds.
2:34 and
33.
2:34. I'll start it at let me just this is giving me a spinny circle. Relax.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second.
Yeah, catch up. You'll be fine.
You gotta play the catch up. I love ketchup. I love mayonnaise.
Matt loves you.
I forgot. Why does he? Ketchup's such a good condiment.
It really is.
It really, really is.
Okay, so come on.
There's no need to be upset with ketchup. Mustard, I get. Woo woo.
All right, so you say what? 2:30 what?
2:34. 33 is where I paused it.
All right, 2:34. 29, 30, 31, 32. All right. So I'm going to pull the volume up here and I'll hit play.
Yeah, I think this is cool. Let us know when you're hitting play.
2:34, 33, and
right.
Well, I'm at 32, but in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, TakeOver. We're still your champion. Is the
Pete Dunne just won.
Done.
I do like him, putting the hanging the belt out of his mouth. Like, I love this music, by the way.
So good.
It's him! He's here! It's Walter!
I love the trench coat. I love the simplicity to his gear. The music, it's perfect.
Right. I mean,
so perfect.
Trunks, boots.
Trunks, boots, trench coat, and orchestral music. Oh, ring general with the trench coat makes sense.
It's so British, so UK. I guess he's from Austria, actually.
Yeah, I believe he's Austrian. Good day, mate. No, just kidding. Wrong.
I think you're missing a consonant there.
It's the old Dumb and Dumber joke. Man, listen to that crowd.
Right? I just want people back.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's get the fuck over this pandemic and let's enjoy wrestling again.
And life, but yes, wrestling.
But sure. Life is wrestling and wrestling is life. And that's Walter's introduction to the WWE universe. Obviously, the UK crowd knows who he is.
Sure, yeah. Bad. Why would you get in the ring after that?
Why would you do that?
Like, why? Why would, after seeing that entrance, why would you think about getting into the ring? God, that crowd.
Walter chant better than Goldberg chant.
I'll agree.
At least today.
Yes. 97, maybe not so much.
Now, a 97 Goldberg versus Walter.
That's
today.
Wow. I would sign up for. Such a cool introduction.
Right, no need for them to touch.
Make it clear what you want.
I would have liked to have stayed on the zoom out shot there.
I was just thinking that, man. Just
let that go.
Let it go the whole way out. I mean, the NXT and specifically this show, from what I've watched, very different, obviously, from like the main roster with the hypercuts. But yeah, I would have clung to that zoom out.
I would have probably just let that go the whole way.
At least the Walter got out of the ring, and then you can cut back in on it.
Right.
Because I saw somebody commented, last night when Randy Orton RKO'd Alexa Bliss at the end of Monday Night Raw. From the moment Alexa Bliss hit the mat, there was 4 cuts before Raw went off the air.
Really?
4 cuts.
Wow.
I think somebody counted. And I mean, she hit the mat and like Orton kind of slithered and then it was the end of Raw.
Right. I don't even remember anything after that.
Yeah, it was like, and so I went back and I watched the clip again, and I think maybe they counted the one when she hit the mat as the first cut.
Yeah, okay.
It was like 4 cuts, but even still, far too many.
That's too much, right?
Could have the shot from the outside when she hits the mat, cut to the one in the ring, Orton slithering out. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah, just way too much.
There's just something lost there. I don't know. I mean, I think we champion simplicity because we get forced so much unnecessary things like cuts, even some different camera angles we just don't need necessarily. Some are absolutely important to establishing what they're trying to establish.
Sure.
But there's nothing wrong with I love watching indie wrestling and give me a hard cam and a rover, and that's all I need.
Yeah, and you go back and watch some of the old WrestleManias and Survivor Series, and last year, for example, Edge's return, they missed the spear.
Right.
Like, I feel like you don't miss stuff like that back in the old days because you only had so many cameras and you kind of knew what was coming.
Right.
When you have so many, I think it just becomes too much. And I think also too, like sports photography, some of the great shots, like in Super Bowl images and stuff like that, when you only had a handful of photographers and they were using film,
right?
Like actual film cameras, and they only had a limited number of shots.
Sure.
They couldn't just sit there and fire off rapid fire pictures until their hand falls off, and then they can go back and figure out which ones they want to use.
Right.
They had to wait. They had to wait for a great catch, a great interception, a great, celebration, whatever. So I think sometimes the lack of simplicity anymore actually hurts.
Sure. I mean, Jim, we both studied electronic media and television and radio production, and direction. I couldn't imagine one person being in charge of all of that.
No.
I mean, as like the acting director in like college productions, ready camera 2, cut to camera 2, camera 3, get this shot, ready camera 3, cut camera 3, camera 1, I need you to get this, camera 2, I need you to get this, ready camera 1, cut camera, like,
hey, and maybe that's
just 3 different cameras that I'm speaking of. Like, imagine having multiple, that's insane.
12 or whatever it is. I don't know exactly how many WWE has, but yeah, I mean,
right, cut to 2, cut to 3, cut to 4. Like, there's no need to cut that quick.
And maybe there's multiple people making that call, and that's part of the problem.
That might be then,
and multiple switchers. So you have one guy telling you, cut to this, cut to this, and yeah, it's just there's a lot.
I mean, unless each camera person has like a standing order that you film this, you film this, you film this, you film this, and that's like what you always have to do. So I don't have to tell that camera person what to be taping.
I'm sure. You know
what I mean? Like,
camera operators know what they're supposed to do, and it's up to the people in the truck to
cut to what looks best.
Cut what looks best, but and maybe that's the problem. There's just too much.
Wow, it's crazy.
But yeah, I would not want to be sitting in that position. But but yeah, definitely, Ryan, a fun match.
Yeah, thanks for watching along with us.
Yeah, and we're going to wrap this edition up. Of course, you can follow Ryan at RYN Eagle if you want. I know he always says don't do it, but you can do it. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports right there. But follow the show at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as we bring up the graphic here. You can see it all, 3CountThursday.com. Go to our Patreon, our store, Collar and Elbow brand store deal, our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net. Our home network, of course, NGSC Sports. You can follow all of us individually or follow the show. And until when I don't know when we're airing this, but of course, tune in each and every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on our Facebook page. And make sure you follow along, play along with us. We love you. And until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin. 3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?